All right, guys, this is Mr. Davila, and today we're going to learn how to put a clarinet together and put a reed on a clarinet. All right, let's do it. All right, so when we're looking at the clarinet, first we're gonna try to label the parts of the clarinet. So this is the first part of the clarinet. This is called the top joint. Okay, top joint. You'll notice that they have some keys right here. These are, I like to call, like banana keys or like grape keys. Okay. And then we'll notice right underneath these keys, you'll see a key right here that I'm touching right underneath. That's called the bridge key. When I push down the second button right here, so if we're looking at the clarinet, here's the first button, here's the second button. When I push it down, look what happens to the key. It raises. Look at it again. I'm going to push it down. This key raises. We'll come back to this later, but it's very important that this key raises. And this key is going to play a very important part in putting their clarinets together. Okay? All right, and then the second part we have is called the bottom joint. Okay, the bottom joint up here at the top, it looks like a bunch of kind of like golf clubs, I like to call them. It actually has a thumb rest here as well, and then we have the 4 little lily pads where you can kind of line up your fingers on. Okay, and that's the bottom joint of our clarinet. Okay, the next part we have is the bell, kind of like Christmas or hello, hello, hello. Right, the bell. Then we have the barrel, which goes on the very top of the clarinet, which we'll talk about. Okay. Then we have a mouthpiece, which looks like this. Actually has a cork on the bottom, and then it has a tip, and then the mouthpiece. Ligature, which is like this. It has actually 2 screws, and it's made out of metal, and that goes on top of the mouthpiece. Then we have a reed. The reed is usually wrapped in plastic, kind of like candy. And that's kind of what we have so far. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to put this clarinet together. So what I want to do again is look at the top joint. The top joint is what these little grape keys are here at the top. And notice how when I'm holding it, I'm not touching, I'm not grabbing it from here, I'm not touching, I'm not bending any keys. You remember, I'm actually holding it like this. Okay, kind of like if I'm presenting something for sale, right? And the second key right here that I'm pointing to, I'm going to push down. Okay, notice when I push down, that key lifts up. This is our bridge key. Look. Okay, I'm going to leave it pushed down. Okay, and then we take our bottom joint, which we'll see these golf clubs here at the top, and the 3 fingers. As soon as we make contact with it, okay, you'll see here, there's a little landing pad right here. You see that little landing pad that I'm pointing to right here? That's where we line up our bridge keys. So the bridge key that lifted up in the top joint, it has to land up with this one. It has to line up. So let me show you here. Okay. We're going to make this key here, this key right here, the one that's raised, this one right here, this bridge key right here. We're going to make it land with this landing pad that I'm showing you right there. Okay. So how to put it together is this. When we're putting the top and bottom joint together, we actually push the second key and we raise this key. See how it's raised? As soon as we make contact with both parts, we're going to go left, right, okay, until we actually line up the top and bottom key. So you can see here, you see that this key here, I'm going to lift it. See how it's lifted? And when I put it down, you see how it actually lines up with the other bridge key? Look. See how it lines up perfectly? It has to make a line like a bridge, and that's why they call it bridge keys. If you can do that, that means our top and bottom have been successfully put together, and you actually have almost the entire clarinet put together. Okay? Then you can bring your fingers all the way down to the bottom of the bottom joint, and you can put your bell on. Okay, your bell, as soon as we make contact with the cork, we go left, right, and then we have it on. Okay, da-da. And then we'll go to the top. The top, we have the barrel here. We're going to have a fat part here and a little part here. Use the fat part and go ahead and go to the top of the clarinet like this. Left, right, and you're in. Okay, notice how I'm not touching any of the keys. I'm touching the top when I'm dealing with it. Okay, and then we actually have to put a mouthpiece on, then the ligature on the mouthpiece, and then the reed. All right, so check it out. The top of the clarinet, we're going to use the mouthpiece, the cork part. We'll put it up here, and then we're going to left, right, and the clarinet is on. Now, another thing you can check out here is this. If you can see, there's a back hole where your thumb goes here in the back of the clarinet. If it actually lines up with the hole of the mouthpiece, that means you've actually done it right. So if you can trace your finger from the hole of the mouthpiece and go all the way down and trace it down here, you're good. You actually have it right. If you do it like this and you try to trace, you go, oh wait, there's no hole, and then now I trace it down to a hole, that means it's not right. Okay? All right, so let's fix it. Then the ligature, okay? So I'm going to take off the mouthpiece and barrel, and I'm going to show you how this is constructed, okay? So when you put it on correctly, the screws will always go facing your right. So you're going to grab the ligature with a thumb and two fingers, and you're going to place it over the mouthpiece. Watch. Just like that, okay? And then when you actually want to put a reed on, we're going to take it, we're going to unwrap it, kind of like candy, okay? And then I'll walk around and kind of show you from this angle here. Okay. When you look at the mouthpiece, you're going to notice there's a fat part right here. Fat part, flat, thin. Fat, flat, thin. Look at our reed as well. Look at our reed here. Fat, flat, thin. We'll turn it around. Fat, flat, thin. Okay? We always want to make sure that we never see the brand. So when we're actually putting on the reed, you shouldn't be able to see the brand. Okay? So what we do is we actually put the ligature on first. Look here, we're going to put the ligature on. You see how I'm grabbing it, 2 fingers and a thumb, and we drop it down. This is your point of view. So if you're looking at it from your point of view, the screws should be going to the right. Okay? Then we hold the reed, 2 fingers and a thumb. You'll see here. Let me show you what that looks like on camera here. 2 fingers and a thumb, holding it like this, and then we slide it in. Okay? We can push up like this, slide it in, and then we line up the fat part with the fat part, the thin part, or the flat part with the flat part, and then the thin part with the thin part. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like. You line it up to the edge of the mouthpiece. Now, to tighten the screws, you're going to tighten towards the tip of the mouthpiece. So if you screw your screws towards the tip of the mouthpiece, it's actually tight. And then as soon as we feel it snug, then we stop. Okay? Now, if you actually see it's lined up with the tip of the mouthpiece, you're good. Okay? Some people like what they like to call sunlight or sunshine, which means that if you turn it around and you look at it this way and you push the reed onto the mouthpiece, you can see the reed on top of the mouthpiece. That's not what I want. I want it lined just against the mouthpiece. That's what I want. And if you can do that, you're good to go. All right? And then so let's go ahead and put it on here. And that, my friends, is a perfectly constructed clarinet, and you're ready to play. Okay? All right. So we hope this video has really helped you out as far as putting the clarinet together and how to put a reed on a clarinet. If you have any questions, please ask myself or Mr. Funes, and we're definitely here to help you. Okay? All right. So let's get to work. Happy Thanksgiving.